Welcome to Venezuela Insider, the only place in Venezuela for expats, digital nomads, entrepreneurs, investors, travelers, and related internationals. For more information, venezuelainsider.com. Today, this video, I'm gonna make it towards other Venezuelans, not for international. This video goes for young people, for young Venezuelans, and why Venezuela, that might be the best time on the recent history to be a young Venezuelan. And here's why. Venezuela, of course, was a rich place, a rich country on the second half of the 20th century. On that time, people who were educated and liked to work, liked to study, liked to improve themselves, like to be entrepreneurs and such, they're gonna be pretty much very well off. Actually, people who had a rough situation on such years, usually people that don't like to work, don't like to study, don't like to be entrepreneurial and take risks. And you don't even have to take risks on such times. Just doing pretty much the bare minimum, you can have a great standard of living. And the standard of living, I remember on the 70s and the 80s here in Venezuela was way high. Most people, they were able to afford a nice car, afford their own home, their own properties. Actually, they have these luxuries like traveling to Miami every weekend. It was cheaper than back then. Usually the average Venezuelan was able to buy important goods and services. They dress with designer couture brands and such. Women were beautiful. Well, we still have that, thank God. However, we had a lot of amenities on such years. I couldn't enjoy it. I wasn't born, or I was just a kid, whatever. And that standard of living declined on the mid 90s, at the late 90s, and then of course from Hugo Chavez with the revolution, socialism, and actually during the first years with Hugo Chavez, the standard of living increased a little bit because was a lot of public spending due to the oil prices and such, and then starting 2012 and such, we had this big economic collapse, price of oil, the socialism, the bad mix and such. And the opportunities for the young people on the past decade were pretty much non-existent. Actually, the young people, that young generation on the last decade had the worst thing, the worst side of the bargain, worst end of the bargain of the social calamity that we suffer. The young people didn't have access to good jobs, good opportunities, good entrepreneurial opportunities, and most of them decided to migrate from the country or pretty much just underachieve on Venezuela. And they're very upset and frustrated, and they feel that the country has failed them, and they're pretty much right. However, for the very young people here, I'm talking about teenagers or people from the early 20s, this might be the best, a great time or the best time for for young Venezuelan people. And the thing is that in the rest of the world, the housing is pretty much unaffordable. So the most of the countries had become unaffordable for young people, and owning a home or renting a home for yourself has become pretty much out of reach. However, in Venezuela, it's not the case. In Venezuela, housing is still affordable for international standards. Of course, probably it's not affordable for young people right now. However, you can stay here in Venezuela if you want to stay, if you want to do so. If you are good in any particular skill, let's say IT or digital marketing. It could be anything. It could be a mechanic. You could be a technician. Whatever is your specialty, and take these few years taking advantage that housing is still affordable, the cost of living if you live with your parents and such, and you are able to do so, pretty good for you. Live with your parents just a few years. Meanwhile, you are developing your high income skill or any skill that could be marketable on the open market, could be anything that you feel that you're good at or you have the conditions to become good at on the future. So little by little, develop a skill. I'm not saying go to the university if you want to go and or your skill requires to go to the university. Pretty good for you. But the main thing is develop a skill, one or two skills, and become a little bit better every single day. Look for a way to cash or monetize your skill little by little, and maybe you can build an nest egg and then you can buy your own home. And after that, if you work on internet or you work on the street or whatever may be the case, you secure the most important thing, that is the housing. And after that, you can start building any other thing. I'm talking about maybe building your own business related to your own skill or doing business on the side or whatever. And that particular method that you secure your housing for the rest of your life. It's going to be rough. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but you secure that. And after that, you improve your skills. You develop a business. You become more entrepreneurial and you can have a great life on the next, let's say, 1 or 2 decades. So, on less than 1 decade, you can be financially secure and a pretty successful man. And of course, the situation that you live on the previous decade makes you be more resourceful and appreciate the good thing and manage a better management of your finances and of course your resources and appreciate everything good that comes to you. So I'm not saying this easy is very hard. You have to be strong. You have to be strong-minded, hardworking. Venezuelans are very hardworking. I always say that. So good for you. Good if you are Venezuelan watching this. I congratulate you because most Venezuelans are pretty hardworking people. And after that, build something. Build something. You have the opportunity to do so. Remember, I know Venezuela is a rough place. We've been through rougher times, so we can manage these rough times that we gonna find ahead. And remember that when a crisis happens, it could be also an opportunity. So let's make the best out of it. Look for opportunities and create something great here in Venezuela. People from the rest of the world are watching, so let's work hard in order to create a better future, not only for ourselves, but for the rest of the Venezuelans and the future generation. Thank you for watching Venezuela Insider. Please like, share, and subscribe. Follow us on social media. If you want to work with us, venezuelainsider.com. Thanks again and have a nice day.